Okay, let's just dive right in. There's this medical trend that's been popping up and has doctors kind of scratching their heads. And the explanation, well, it's not in our bodies, it's deep inside our brains. We're not really talking about what's on the screen here. We're talking about how the screen is fundamentally changing us.
So get this. This is the mystery we're going to unravel. 20 years ago, erectile dysfunction in men under 30 was pretty rare. We're talking like 5%. But today, that number has shot up to 20%. That's a 4x increase. That isn't just a small blip. It's a huge generational shift, and it demands an explanation.
And here's a super important distinction we need to make right off the bat. The sources are really clear on this. For most of these guys, the problem isn't about getting aroused. It's not about the inability to get an erection. It's about the inability to maintain it all the way to completion. It's a problem of climax, which, that points to a whole different kind of issue.
Which brings us to the core question, right? What on earth happened in the last couple of decades to cause such a massive change? To figure that out, we've got to look at how our world and the things that stimulate us have completely transformed.
A huge piece of the puzzle is, of course, the technology. Porn used to be a passive thing, something you just watched. But now, with 8K resolution, VR, interactive platforms, it's become what neuroscientists call neuroscientifically engaging. It's basically engineered to grab your brain and not let go in a way old media never, ever could.
But here's the real twist in the story. As big as those visual upgrades are, they're not actually the most powerful change. The true game changer, the thing that's really rewiring the brain, is this new potent emotional layer that just didn't exist before.
And this quote from Dr. Alok Kanoja just nails it. Think about platforms like OnlyFans. It's not some performance for a random audience. It feels personal. The person on screen seems like they're interacting directly with you, creating what's called a parasocial relationship, a one-sided bond that feels incredibly real to your brain.
And this is the crucial part. This new dynamic is hijacking parts of the brain that old-school porn never got anywhere near. We're talking about your empathic circuits, your social circuits, the very systems in your brain that handle real-life relationships. It's a completely different ballgame now, and it's playing on a much, much deeper level.
Now, to really understand why this is so powerful, we need to do a quick breakdown of how addiction works. It's actually pretty simple. Any addictive behavior does two things. First, it gives you pleasure, right? A high. But second, and this is the important one, it takes away pain. Because here's the critical switch that happens. As an addiction takes hold, your motivation starts to shift. It stops being about chasing that amazing feeling of pleasure, and it becomes about escaping a bad feeling. You're not using it to feel good anymore, you're using it just to feel normal, or to feel nothing at all. It becomes a tool to numb out. And that leads us right to the heart of this whole issue. If modern emotionally charged porn is becoming a numbing agent for so many, what's the underlying pain they're trying to escape from?
Well, the sources all point to a growing crisis of connection. People are feeling more socially isolated than ever before. Dating is a minefield of apps and confusing rules. Social media bombards us with impossible standards. And because of all that, our basic, real-world social skills are actually starting to weaken or atrophy.
So how do you fight something like this? The answer isn't as simple as just stop trying. The sources are clear. When something is wired this deep into your brain's social and emotional centers, willpower alone is almost never going to be enough to win that fight.
Instead, the real solution is about building. It's not about taking something away. It's about adding something back in. It's about actively and intentionally rebuilding the real-world skills and connections that might have been pushed to the side.
And this is really the end goal. According to Dr. Kanoja, the most powerful shield against these cycles of addiction and loneliness is something profoundly simple: a solid, genuine, real-life relationship.
So how do you get there? The path forward really involves two things. First, actually understanding the science behind how attraction and connection work in the real world. And second, getting out there and actively practicing those fundamental social skills that, for our parents or grandparents were just learned naturally.
So, we'll leave you with this final thought. As our digital worlds become more and more stimulating, perfectly tailored to our brains' every whim, are we accidentally losing the one thing they can never truly give us? Genuine human connection. And what's the real cost if we forget how to build it?